serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey, folks, and welcome to episode number 66 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of March 13th through the 19th, 2018. My name is Tim Beeman.
And I'm Kelly Bone.
And we're opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town at Test Pattern Studios. Test Pattern is located at 701 North Trade Street in the Historic Arts District of downtown Winston-Salem. Check out their Facebook page to see what's going on, because there's new things happening. I did talk to Brian Cole.
Oh, exciting.
Last week, and it's a bit unclear as to what the direction will be, but it will be something. So just check them out. I think they're working now to keep the name. I'm not sure what's going on, but just check facebook.com/testpatternbar. So how are things?
Things are great. How are things? How's Stephanie's birthday?
Stephanie's birthday was great. We went out with Chef Travis and his wife and their two young'uns.
Adorable children.
Yes. Gracie is so funny.
Oh, I love Gracie. Gracie was my favorite. Anytime she'd come into the restaurant, I'd be like, Mommy, I'll take Gracie from you. It's fine. No worries. I remember one time I just fed her a ton of fruit, and she was cool. She was chill.
Yeah, those little chubby cheeks. There's no doubt, looking at either one of those kids, that either one of them are Travis's.
Yeah.
They look exactly like Travis.
Yep, they do. It's scary.
Yeah. But we had sushi. We went to Miyako down in Oliver's Crossing, and just ate a ton of sushi.
I love sushi.
I do too. It's my favorite food. It's my favorite food group, of cuisine.
Yeah.
My actual favorite food, I said, was peanut butter.
Yeah.
But my favorite food is sushi. I'm a big fan of tuna and salmon, so those particularly. But I like octopus. I like squid, and all that stuff. So yeah.
Eel.
Yeah, I'm not so much on the eel, and I don't
Really?
like mackerel.
I don't like raw salmon.
Oh, I
raw
love
tuna. Raw tuna all day.
Yeah.
The salmon is too squishy. The tuna is more like steak.
Yeah.
But we've all discussed that I have texture issues when it comes to food, and I'm really, really weird about what I eat texture-wise. So, sorry.
I will forgo all the what goes in your mouth.
I mean, we can let everybody's imagination just roll on that if they want.
Mine is. So
Bazinga! Feels like Tuesday, guys.
All right, so according to their Facebook page, the Hero House on Peters Creek Parkway is now permanently closed. They didn't offer any explanation other than they appreciate everyone's patronage throughout the last, 10 years that they were there?
So many years.
It was a decent restaurant built over what used to be a Wendy's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah, I was very fond of that Wendy's because, it was there when I grew up, and when I was in school, it was that.
So why did that Wendy's close down?
They moved down the other side of Peters Creek. Down South Park Shopping Center.
Okay, yeah.
Where the Arby's and all that stuff is. Mm-hmm. For a while, they kept both of them open, but then the one beside Mr. Barbecue phased out. Now, they tore the whole building down and built another one, but no, they didn't. They just redid the outside and the inside, but the shell was left the same. So, the sandwiches at the Hero House, I thought were packed. Mm-hmm. They were pretty good size, and for the price, really good. But I have to say, over the last little bit, though, I've noticed fewer cars in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And you made a good point in the pregame when you were saying that all the new groovy things that are coming downtown, people who are downtown aren't leaving downtown to go out that far.
You don't have to go out to Peters Creek. Now, for good barbecue, people will follow good barbecue. Yeah. I've noticed. It's the South. Yeah. They're going to go to whatever barbecue establishment. Yeah. But a sandwich shop, we've got so many sandwich shops.
Well, we've got our
downtown.
official sponsor, the Washington Perk.
Right.
And you can get basically anything you want there, dirt cheap.
Right. And that's a walk in and get up and go. And then guess what? You're close to everything downtown. You don't have to go anywhere. And then you have got, I don't know, there's so much new things opening up downtown. And I think that's another issue, you know, is they're not, like, Peters Creek is still downtown. That side.
Yeah.
That side.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not, like, you can go up Peters Creek and take the highway, or you can keep going and guess what? You're, like, on, like, Spring and Broad.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not that far away, and
Yeah.
people would walk, but at the same time,
Well,
it's
it's what
like,
they always say, you know, the close proximity to downtown
Right.
is what. But you're right, and we talked about this too in the pregame, that the area there between 4th Street, which is basically Phillies, and
and the other, what's the other strip club called?
Savannah.
It's Savannah's.
Yeah.
They-
All right,
they-
guys, welcome to the stage. She's working for your dollars. This is Cinnamon. Yeah, yeah.
With a buffet. That's gross.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they actually have a buffet, but they are open at noon.
They do
see-
publicize that on their little
Yeah,
thing. Open at noon. I'm like, who the hell is going to a strip club at noon?
Yeah,
Let's go have our lunch. Let's go have our like manager meeting at Savannah's.
yeah.
They're open.
So, you know, I think you should do better sales. And look, nipples.
Yeah.
But but that little area is a bit iffy. I mean, you have the Roach Motel there, the Knights Inn or King's Inn or whatever that is.
I thought they were taking that down.
No, the one they're taking down is the Innkeeper there
True,
on
yeah.
Broad Street.
They're turning that into like what, a storage
yeah.
facility, because we don't have enough storage facilities in Winston-Salem,
In,
people.
in downtown, no less.
God, the herpes of Winston-Salem are parking garages and storage facilities.
Yeah.
Herpes all over the damn place.
Yeah. The Roach Motel there, though, is for sale.
It's been for sale for a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's
And
what I thought.
What
it
I'm
was bought
wondering,
out.
though, because they're getting ready to put Bob King Mazda there in the spot where that Salvation Army place
Bob
was.
King ain't gonna handle that. He ain't gonna handle that Roach Motel in there, y'all. He's
Nobody does it like Bob King.
right? Bob King is so freaking popular. Like, he's got how many things?
Yeah.
No, he won't stand for that.
But so I know the motel there is for sale for $1 million.
Are you serious?
Yes,
That much?
that much. So what did they pay for that empty lot that they could build their own stuff on?
Probably not that.
I bet it was more than that. I bet it was by $1.5 million, $2 million. I mean, this is where this area is getting ready to start jumping, because traffic's going to be diverted through there like nobody's
Yeah, that's
business.
true. They're going to start making that a lot nicer. I wonder if they're going to get rid of that shopping center and that well, not the BP, but maybe the shopping center, and that'll get rid of the riffraff down on that side.
Maybe, but there's a lot of good things in there that are paying the bills. And Red Wing Shoes have been there since before I got here, and I've been here 31
Well, maybe
years.
some more better shops. Like, keep the ones that have been still doing good, and then kind of like you know what I'm saying? Like, scooch out.
Well, they need to fill what used to be the La Tienda Familia,
Yeah.
whatever thing was in there, the international market.
Yeah.
They need to fill that big space. It used
Well,
to
and
be a
I
food
think-
line.
Yeah, and I think that the what is it? The little bodega on the corner that has the food truck, the little Mexican food truck. It's like the little Mexican bodega. It's right across from the
Yeah.
BP. I think that could stay too.
Yeah.
Because that food truck is hopping. I don't even know the name of it, but I know it's.
I believe
busy.
it's owned by the same people.
I think it is, but it's always busy. There's never not a line at that little food truck.
Yeah.
And one day I want to go and try it, because I'm sure it's delicious, and I'm sure it's like legit, like
Yeah.
Spanish Mexican
Yeah.
food, not American Mexican.
Yeah. It's probably closer to what Taqueria Luciano is.
Yeah.
And I know beside that is what used to be a Flowers, or not Flowers, one of the Flowers brands, the thrift store.
Yeah.
And then there's now a tire place that's also Latino owned. And then there's the Boost Mobile place, which used to be the Baskin Robbins. And then beside that is a used car lot that used to be the Four Seasons restaurant, drive-in restaurant. And then up above that is now something in Nellie's, something that store that I have never seen a car in once. Even though they advertise the place, I've not even seen people work there.
Yeah.
And then that super used car lot there on the edge of Business 40.
I also hope they don't get rid of the Chinese grocery store.
Asian grocery.
Man, that place is awesome. It's terrifying.
It is.
You go in there and the guy, you go, do you have this? And he just points in any direction that he wants. Because I'm pretty sure this is entertaining as hell to him.
Yeah,
He's like, these people don't speak a lick of what I speak.
Yeah.
I know what they're looking for, but I'm just going to point in any general direction.
You'll go that way.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what he did. And I was like, okay. No smile, no nothing. I was just looking for the steam bamboo things.
Yeah.
That's all I was looking for. And I even had one in my hand that was broken because we needed one for like demoing for marketing or some stupid shit. And I showed him and he just pointed. And I was like, well, it's a war now. We got to fight it by myself. Like, okay. Peters Creek does have a lot of good things to offer. It really does.
It used to be really, really big because, like I said, the things I named there used to be a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was a food line there where it's now empty when it was an international food market. Volvo just redid their spot. So that's,
I think they're getting ready to, like, really up the ante on that side of town.
Yeah.
Because the other side of Peters... The other side of Peters is, like... towards Walmart and everything, and that's really nice. That's growing. That side, I think, needs a little bit of help. It needs a little bit of Band-Aids.
Yeah,
I think, and I wonder what's gonna go in that spot from the Hero House. I wonder who's gonna.
I don't know.
Take advantage of that.
It's kitchen ready. They should not have trouble finding something different. I think because you have to have something different.
Mm-hmm. If it didn't work there before, don't do it again.
Do you know what used to be in the drive time spot on Peters Creek? That was the Red Lobster in town. When I first
don't know
moved here.
how Red Lobster is still in business. Have you been to a Red Lobster lately?
No, I'm not allowed.
Why?
Because Red Lobster and Olive Garden, both Darden properties, have the highest sodium in all of Dindom.
Well, I mean that doesn't surprise me. But if you guys haven't been to an Olive Garden or a Red Lobster as of late, their portion sizes are stupid and their food is terrible. Like it used to be good, and then it's like you can tell like their portions are just like, okay, we're gonna show you this portion on TV, and it looks like a legit portion, and then you get it and you're like, what the hell is this? Like I could have bought myself a lobster tail and a steak at home and like made myself something way better than this and pay less than $35-40.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Why would I go there? There's King's Crab Shack.
Yeah.
There's Wagga, Olive Garden. There's Delicios.
Delicios, that's so good.
So
I haven't said it before, guys.
Yeah. So I don't need the chains. I'm not anti-chain. I'm just anti-me going to chains.
Well, my parents have a really bad habit of giving me... Love them to death. They can't find this podcast, so it's fine. So I'm going to say what I say. They have a bad habit of getting me, like, a gift card, but it's gift card. It's not like a Visa gift card. Yeah. It's a gift card to...
Applebee's.
Chain restaurants. Okay, first off, they know that I don't really like to eat at chain restaurants. They know this. Okay, they know this. And then second, I'm like, well, I guess I have to use it. And then I go, and it's terrible. Every time. I'm like, this is why I don't go to effing chains. This is why I don't. Like, it's so annoying. Because then you feel bad because it's $100 on a gift card. And it's like, okay, well, if I can't sell this to somebody...
Re-gift.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Wow, that's so generous of you. Oh, I know. You're welcome.
$100 right there. You and the kids. 2 meat and 2 veg right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just that Peters Creek Parkway used to be exciting.
Yeah.
When I moved here in 1986, that was Fast Food Boulevard. And for someone from the sticks of West Virginia where you had to drive 40 minutes to any kind of fast food, that was amazing. Going to high school in an era where you could leave to go to lunch if you were a junior or senior, the year I left was the last year that the juniors could do it. The year after that was the last year the seniors could do it. But we used to just go to lunch, get in our cars and go. And going down Peters Creek was so, it was plentiful there. The Bojangles, the old Bojangles was still there, and it wasn't run down like it became at the very end. The Burger King was always pumping and jumping. McDonald's, of course, because it was right there. There was a Hardee's there on Peters Creek Parkway. The Arby's is where the Enterprise truck rental thing is now. And it had the weirdest to-go window, the drive-through window. There was no interaction with the people. There was the machine that come over and you put your money in a little sawed-off styrofoam cup, and it goes back up into the thing, back into the building, and then out comes your food with your card or your change.
Maybe that was what they thought the future was going to be.
I guess. But
robots.
Yeah, but you also, whenever you did, there was a little TV screen so they could watch you and you could watch them.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like the drive-through pickup window at for medicine for the pharmacy at Walmart. You have the little screen there. But there were so many things. There was Quincy's Steakhouse. Now, I did like that. Home of the big fat yeast roll. What is now the Omega House was a Pizza Inn.
I just think that side of Peters needs a little bit of help, especially with how much traffic they're about to get.
Yeah, and everything between... Some things just need a facelift, but parts of it really need help. There's
Can't
a lot
put
of
lipstick on a pig.
That's right. Well, you can polish a turd, but it's still a turd.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that there's a lot of things between, let's say, Silas Creek. Some of it's good, some of it's not, but there's so much they could do between Silas Creek and Academy.
Yep.
To really, from Academy north into town, it's going to be awesome when they get everything rolling. When they get everything done. It's going to suck while waiting on it to be done. The 2 years or whatever it's going to do.
I hope it just takes 2 years, like they say.
Hopefully they'll be ahead of time.
They have been so far.
Yeah.
They've been way ahead of schedule so far. So.
Well, as you're coming north on Peters Creek into downtown, you're going to come close to Brookstown, which will take you over to Burke Street. And on April the 7th is when the 2018 rendition of the Burke Street Food Truck Festival will be happening. They will have 70 food trucks that will go all the way from 4th and Broad, I'm pretty sure, all the way down to Burke Street, down to where 4th, 1st, and Burke all cross to make 1st.
That is so
where Gatsby's is.
trucks.
Yeah. So 70 food trucks. There's going to be art vendors and a marketplace like there was last year.
Okay. 2
live music stages on each end, and table seating available, on-street beverage stations, and much, much more. Food trucks will be representing a variety of North Carolina cities and global cuisines. I'm hoping that Baguette About It is here again. Have you ever had Baguette About It?
That's a great name.
It is.
I love food truck names so much.
And the Botmobile, that's a great name too. It'll also many vegetarian and gluten-free options, but Baguette About It. They take these 10-inch baguettes and they poke holes. They have these spikes that they poke holes, and they're about an inch in diameter in here, and then they fill it with sausages and chicken or beef or anything you want. And so you have basically a baguette roll, like food.
Cool.
It's just stuffed with stuff.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's just great, and
the name also adds a little bit of flavor to it.
And the name is Baguette About It. One of my other favorite food trucks out there, and Baguette About It's, I think, based in Durham.
Okay.
But one of my other favorites here is La Vie en Rose.
I don't have that one.
French, it's crepes, but it's.
I have seen that one.
They started off only as sweet stuff, but now they have savory stuff too.
Yeah.
And they're really good.
Yeah.
And the husband is actually from Paris.
Yeah. I remember seeing. Where was I? I think it was the Crankies Craft Fair.
Yeah.
They had like a bunch of food trucks there, and
La Vie en Rose was there.
yes,
Yeah.
But I wasn't there this year. We were there the year before. It was like the first year they did it in the Inmar place, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's great in there because everybody's not jammed in Crankies trying to do a craft fair. You know how small Crankies is.
Oh, yeah.
And Crankies Craft Fair is huge.
Yep.
It gets bigger and bigger every year. But yeah, they were out there, and then I think a taco truck. There's a local taco truck downtown somewhere, and I don't remember. It's got a funny name too.
I really need to get a directory of the Winston-based food trucks.
I will say, I know it's really hard to have a food truck in Winston because of the health department.
Yeah, because you have to have commissary access to a regular restaurant.
And it's really hard because you also share a grease pit with them. Like, you can dump your grease there, you can charge your car, like your truck there, and everything like that. And it's really hard to get a spot. So a lot of these food trucks aren't based out of Winston because they need to be based out of somewhere else. They base it off of their like commissary spot.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them can only get places in High Point or King or somewhere outside of Winston because their health departments aren't as strict, and it's easier to get a spot, like a commissary spot, outside of Winston, which makes me really sad because Winston is such a good spot for food trucks.
Yeah, but it has such a suck-ass health department.
Oh my God, 100%.
Well, they're so amateur. That's the problem. They're just they hire inexperienced people to come in, and they train them using a checklist.
Yeah, and that have never worked in the industry.
They have never worked in the industry, so they don't know how anything operates. They just know what their paper says, and that's awful.
Well, and it's also inconsistent.
Yeah,
which is super unfair. Like, they'll say one thing.
It's all based on judgment.
Yeah,
it's judgment call.
Like, apparently, ServSafe doesn't matter anymore. Like, it counts. You have to have people that are ServSafe certified,
yeah.
Right? But we'll go through and look at everything, and we know ServSafe like the back of our hands, and then they'll come in and say something completely different than ServSafe, like 100% completely different, and we're just like, what? Like, what is that? What? Like, you're kind of like confused, and you're trying to find like updated versions of what they're looking at, but we don't know what updated versions they're looking at. And then I don't know if I want to specifically say. I know there's one that used to work in the military. So there's one that's very, 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 very like, and I mean, she probably does know her stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but if it's not something that's going to affect the health, which the health department, if it's not something that's going to affect the health of the consumer, why not have a curve on the grading?
Some of them do.
Some of them do.
Some of them
but
do,
again,
and some of them are really cool.
That's also inconsistent.
Yeah.
It should be left up to the person, but not by following a checklist.
Yeah.
I mean, have a guideline.
Yeah.
And then use judgment around that.
Well, the one inspector that I liked, the head chef went around and was talking with him and everything, and we knew one of our coolers wasn't temping.
Yeah.
That's the life of a kitchen, y'all.
Yeah.
Everything breaks all the damn time. I went into work yesterday and the oven was broken, and they were fixing the oven while I was working. Okay? Like, that happens. A kitchen is a money pit. I hate to say it, and it sounds really negative. It's not. It's just a kitchen. We use the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
We abuse the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
So our cooler wasn't temping, and the head chef was going around. He was like, look, I know this isn't temping. I have somebody coming out tomorrow to get it fixed. He had the order form. He showed him. He's like, cool, I won't take it off. Just take this stuff out and put it in your walk-in until you get the cooler fixed. He was cool like that. And see, that's the thing. Like, we weren't going to kill anybody by that cooler not temping. There wasn't anything in it that was super important. It was like vinaigrettes.
Yeah.
Really, guys? Do you keep your Italian dressing in the cooler until you open it? No. You keep it in your cupboard, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So, like, it was just, I mean, we did what we were told, but that's the thing of it. Like, it's inconsistent. And I feel like you said, if it's not going to kill somebody, then...
Even if it's not going to make them sick, some of the stuff really is dog and pony show, nitpicky, bullshit. I mean, there's no reason for half of it. It's most of the time, and I love my county. I love the city that I live in, but sometimes it's people justifying their existence. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with anything that matters.
Oh, they've tried to screw up a lot of big names in this city. A lot of big names. And they've contested. The people that they've gone after have contested. And they've shown them, like, look, we're not doing anything wrong. You know? So, honestly, like, there is a website where you can go and, like, read the reports and everything. But I would... If this place has never gotten a bad score before, like, if say they've been always in the 90s, right? Like 92, 95, 98.
Yeah.
Because nobody's ever going to get 100. Not with the way that they do it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they go down to like an 80 or a 70 out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Guys, I would really question what they're doing. Like, I would go through the report and be like, okay, well, years past, they've never had these issues. Why all of a sudden magically is it out of this? You know? So sometimes I think it's just like a politic kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's
politics.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's somebody who may have gotten pissed off or had their nose rubbed the wrong way, and they use it as a weapon against these restaurants. And mind you, these people have never been in the industry, and that's bullshit.
Yeah. If I had the money, going back to the food truck thing, if I had the money, there's plenty of space downtown for a centralized commissary.
Yeah.
That you could, charge rent and
for spaces.
Have it big enough where you can drive the trucks into it. You can't service the trucks in there, but the trucks can drive in. You have cooler spaces that are specifically for certain trucks, and then you have the grease traps and everything that you need there. And the recycling.
Yeah. Well, there's a. I don't know if you know this. There's a new thing in town, which I hope some restaurants get on board. They turn the grease. So they always recycle grease. There's companies that recycle the grease. These guys specifically turn the grease into gas for the buses for Forsyth County.
I'll tell you why I know this. It sits on my property. My parents own the property that business sits on.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, it's over off Palmer Lane.
It basically means that none of these schools have to pay for gas for the buses if the restaurants do this. Yeah. And that means more money can focus on maybe free food for kids so nobody goes hungry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That would be crazy.
Yep.
So you could even do something like that, in theory, if you had it, Yeah. Have compost.
But yeah, so if I had the money, and I don't, but I think that would be, I think that would be a good project for someone who does have money.
Yes.
Because you can make your money back
just in renting out the spaces
in the first year.
Yep.
Because there'd be you missed it. The guy was doing wheelies on a bicycle.
We have a window to watch out.
Yeah.
We're like kitty cats.
Yeah. Kelly's over here just wagging her tail, just very slowly walking out the window.
Chirping.
But you'd have turnaround, and you could do it to where you could actually do 20 You don't have to have that big a space because these places don't need huge cooler spaces.
Right. Well, and then even if you think about it, if it would take off like that, you can even leave spots for not local people, people that are coming in to, like, if we want to invite somebody, like a really, really big popular food truck that travels around the United States, and we want to invite them, guess what? You have a guest spot. And that's what you call them, is guest spots. So there's a guest spot cooler, there's a guest spot. And, you can make little contracts and policies. Like, if you leave a mess, you're going to be fined. If you leave, you're renting out this space, keep it clean. It's just like a hotel room, but for food trucks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Because...
it'd be a big fuck you to Winston.
Yeah. Well, because I love food trucks. I don't like standing in line at food trucks, but that's part of the experience.
Yeah.
But am I going to get the food experience that I'd get at Willow's or at Springhouse? Probably not.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you may get the food quality, but that's not the point. This is street food. Street food is not supposed to be fancy food. Street food is exactly that. Street food.
Did you know that there's a woman in Mount Airy? I'm not going to say her menu looks awesome, and I don't remember her name, and the logo is ridiculously hilarious, that does fried Pop-Tarts.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, I just want to know what that is. I just want to know what a fried Pop-Tart is.
Is that in a food truck?
It's her food truck. I don't remember the name of it, but she wears this like old waitress looking outfit. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the old it's bad. It's bad. It's like crinkle cut fries, like chili cheese fries, burgers, hot dogs, stuff like that. But the one thing that stuck out to me on the menu was fried Pop-Tarts. I was like, holy hell, fried Pop-Tarts. What? How do you even figure that out? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it happens at the fair. I don't know.
Mount Airy. Yeah, I'm sure they do it. I don't know. That's something I have to actually go into research for. But there's just it's just Mount Airy Food Truck Festival, or do that, and it's just wanting to talk about fairs. So that's something we have to really look into. But yeah, so that's the two things, and actually I like the kind of rabbit hole you went down into with the discussion there. So that's what I like about having a co-host on here, because if I would be just reading shit, that would be bad. So let's do some food holidays.
Okay.
The 13th is Coconut Tort Day and Ginger Ale Day.
Burners all the way. Burners. You don't even know what that is, do you?
Mm-mm.
They can it and bottle it in North Carolina, but they only sell it in Michigan. It's weird, but they're doing it different now, though. I've had it a few times, and if I get it again, I'll show you. But they used to barrel age the ginger ale, and it was really good. And it was dark, and it would get rid of anything. And that's the first thing I would ask for whenever I visited my family in Michigan. What do you want to drink? Burners. Now it's clear. So now I'm like, and you changed the process, and why? Like, you messed up a good thing. But
what's the one that does the spicy ones? Is it Blenheim's? Something like that?
Blenheim's, Reed's.
Okay.
Does a spicy ginger beer, but it's the same thing as ginger ale.
Okay.
Stuff like that, but burners.
Yeah. The 14th is National Potato Chip Day and National Pie Day. It's P.I. because it is 314.
Yeah.
Where Stephanie's birthday is the 12th, a lot of times when we have theme parties for friends or whatever, hers is usually Pie Day, and people can bring savory pies, sweet pies, dessert pies, whatever they want.
Pie?
Yeah, but her birthday is 3/12, and a lot of times the Saturday will be the 14th.
Yeah.
So we do a party with friends and just have it a 314 party.
All the pie.
All the pie. The 15th, of course, is the Ides of March. It's also International School Meals Day.
Gross.
And then Pears Helene Day, whatever Pears Helene is. Do you know what Pears Helene is?
Nope. Is that something to do with some pears
Or Helene. I don't know. Let's see. Is a dessert made from pears poached in sugar syrup and served with vanilla ice cream and chocolate syrup.
So it's just a pear pie.
No, not pie.
It's not a pie.
No, it's pears that are peeled
Yeah.
and poached in sugar syrup,
Yeah.
whole. And
so you and then you bake the pear?
No, you don't bake anything.
Oh.
You poach them and then put them in a bowl, serve it with vanilla ice cream and chocolate syrup over top. Here's a picture here. It looks really good. I'll show you off air.
He's also doing it like he's showing me his hand, and I'm thinking it's gonna be in like this pastry bowl.
No. It's like if you had the whole thing in your hand. Yeah. Sorry. 16th is not at all appealing to me. It's National Artichoke Hearts Day.
I like artichoke hearts, but there's so much work.
Yeah.
There's so much work.
It's like crab legs.
Yeah.
You know, I love crab legs.
So much
But
work.
so much work.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay somebody else to do it. The 17th, of course, is St. Patrick's Day, and according to many studies, it's the biggest day of the year for combined food and beverage sales in restaurants and bars.
I will be at Finnegan's.
Yeah.
I'll be in the tent.
And it's also Corned Beef and Cabbage Day and National Corn Dog Day, which is always the first Saturday of the collegiate basketball tournament.
Why National Corn Dog?
Well, because I think they go over big at college basketball games. I like corn dogs.
Well, I also got sick from corn dogs once my dad didn't believe that I had a stomach ache, and then saved the corn dog that I didn't finish at lunch for me for dinner.
Oh.
And then I got sick.
Blech.
Yeah, it was gross. It was really gross.
The 18th is Oatmeal Cookie Day and National Sloppy Joe Day.
I love sloppy joes.
Also, on the 18th in 1863, women rioted in Salisbury, North Carolina, to protest the lack of flour and salt in the Confederacy.
What?
There was not because they were, I guess, using them, rationing it out for the soldiers.
Oh.
So there was a lack, and the women rioted. Women just
It's so interesting to know like some of the weird food facts about like women doing things in the past. Like a lot of them, I think in like the 1940s or 50s, they would sit out in their bathing suits, and by bathing suits I mean those like full suit bathing suits, and eat pizza by the pool to disgust men. I mean, could you imagine? Like, that disgusted men to see. So they would literally wear their bathing suits and eat pizza out by the pools because they knew it would just make the men writhe, and wriggle. They didn't like it. They thought it was, like, unkempt and disgusting and rude.
I would be over there hitting on those girls.
And eating pizza with
and eating
them.
pizza. Hey, girls, you gonna eat that artichoke? Artichoke heart pizza there. The 19th is Poultry Day and National Chocolate Caramel Day.
Okay, that's a good one.
So that's your food holidays and history there. Thank you to James Ehler for compiling that.
Thanks, James.
The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, Beer Dads, Fan Interference, and Sipping and See the Art of Drinking. You can listen to all those podcasts on their list and their latest episodes on our network website, the directory tldpodnetwork.com. And if you have Amazon Echo or Echo Dot, you can enable the AnyPod skill and have Alexa, when she's not randomly laughing at you, to play have AnyPod play the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. We'd greatly appreciate if you visit our sponsors. First, Washington Perk and Provision Company. Perk is located at 301 West 4th Street in downtown Winston-Salem. They have Wolfie's custard. And I know it's kind of sloppy and snotty outside right now, but it's getting ready to change. And when that happens, I believe there'll be some custard galore.
They had a lot of flavors when I went in the other day. Like, it was like half of the cooler filled up, but that's still, to me, that seems like a lot, because that cooler's pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'd say they probably have, room for 25 or so.
Yeah, it looks like 25, 30 slots.
You can get your eggs, milk, and cheese there. You can get your peanut butter. You can get
Sunshine energy drinks.
You can get Texas Pete hot sauce. gourmet dog biscuits for your dogs.
dogs.
Yeah. So it's good stuff. You can use it. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, but not quite a grocery store. Again, you can find them at 301 West 4th Street in downtown Winston-Salem. On Facebook, it is Washington Perk. On Instagram, or on Twitter, it is Washington_Perk. And on Instagram, it is Washington Perk_WSNC. It's a mouthful.
All the complications.
The Humblebee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown Winston-Salem. Visit for cookies, cakes, pies, and other dessert goodies made just for you. Everything is carefully crafted and made 100% from scratch. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and visit thehumblebeeshop.co. That shop is SHOPPE.co. Anything
We're
else?
so hype about
I
that.
know. It's just on the less desirables. There's always the at the very end we talk about the lessdesirables.com.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk the website we call, and then how it started was I would always say lessdesirables.com. That's the lessdesirables.com. And then after a while it became a joke, and now the thing is at the end, somebody always has to throw in the lessdesirables.com. I said one more time, the lessdesirables.com. But yeah, that's our thing. Then the shop, SHOPPE.co. So,
Oh, God.
anything else you got to discuss today?
No.
Well, then keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email, tim@themanwhoatethetown.com or kelly@themanwhoatethetown.com. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are manwho8thetown. On Instagram, we are manwhoatethetown. My name is Tim,
And I'm Kelly.
and we are closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit.
It's ya.
The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.